Okay, let's get started. So, what's up, everyone? I've got Brandon Maguire here. He runs a YouTube channel, basically, where he provides commentary on kind of cultural conversations from, a Christian perspective. And so, Brandon, if you'd like to tell everyone here a little bit more, about who you are.
Yeah, it's the channel's called Daily Dose of Wisdom, and I'll basically just play clips from everything from the Joe Rogan Experience to maybe Russell Brand, different podcast clips. I'll bring in some lectures, some old vintage YouTube videos, stuff like that, and just try to string together a commentary that's from a Christian perspective, basically. And so it's a little bit of reaction video, and then there's also a podcast component to it as well, where I'll kind of talk to some of the experts who I feature in some of the reaction videos as well.
Awesome. All right. And so, how long has it been now that you've been working with us?
I think it's been about 3 months, I would say, somewhere around there, 90 days.
Awesome. Okay. And can you give us a bit about like your story before joining? Like where were you at before working with us?
Yeah, so I think that every creator, at least those who I've talked with, at some point, you start to wonder, like, I've got this audience now of people who are interested in a particular topic, and you kind of start to wonder how else can you connect with them, what else can you offer them, what can you basically do to add more value to them. uh, if they like what's happening on YouTube, if they like the content on YouTube, what else can you give them, how else can you add value to them? At least that was my question. And then as I started sort of flushing that out, I realized, oh geez, this is going to entail a website. This is going to entail like collaborate, like technology pieces and logistics, and bringing in other people to kind of build something that will facilitate that community and that conversation that I want to be able to have with the audience in a deeper manner. And so then once I kind of defined the shape of, what is the thing that I want to offer them going to look like, then I realized, wow, now I have no idea how to connect them to this place, or how to build this place, or how to message this connection that I'm trying to foster, basically.
Awesome. Okay. And what type of results have you gotten since we now launched about a month ago?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that's true. The launch was like 2 months ago, I think, but we had been working, like pre-launch, we had been working together for at least a month, if not maybe a little bit over a month before that, just getting everything dialed in. But right now, there's I think 200 plus members inside of the community. And there's two different price tiers, and people are actually pretty happy with the community experience that they're getting. We're doing a weekly meeting as a community, and then we're also doing a book club where they're getting to like talk to the experts and stuff like that. And so yeah, currently it's, like I said, about 2 months into being live, I think, and sitting at about 200 members, and they seem to be pleased for the most part so far.
Awesome. Okay. And if you're comfortable sharing, often when people want to do something like this, they're like, okay, how much am I, going to get in return on my time? Are you comfortable sharing your numbers for the first kind of month of launch? What you did? I know it's you've got some monthly recurring.
Yeah.
Some people pay up front, and then you have that lump sum that you got kind of when you first launched for that month, and then you've also got some people that pay recurring. Like, are you comfortable sharing those numbers?
Yeah. I think the first month was like just over $8,000, and about half of that was the annual payers. So there's like a big spike up there, and then now it's about so about half of that, about 4,000 a month in recurring. Um, which is great because, at least with what I'm doing, it's probably not the most business savvy, but there are different costs and logistics and people that I'm bringing in, and like expenses and stuff like that. So to be able to kind of like launch it, and in the first 90 days to actually be up and running with something that is stable and can cover, all of the expenses, and even allow for a hire or something for someone to manage it, is actually really cool, because now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it's basically something that just needs to be scaled at this point. Like, it needs to be marketed and more people invited, but the nuts and bolts of it are in place and people like it. So now I think it's just a matter of kind of turning up the volume.
Awesome. Okay. And what were kind of the main challenges you faced before we worked together?
I think just lack of knowledge about how to put together a community for the audience in a way that they would like, that would actually address what their needs are, and that would be communicated to them in a way that would make sense based on the particulars of my audience. So all of each of those things, I wasn't sure the right way to go about. What do they actually want? How do I actually create it? And how do I message this to them in a way that they will like and that they'll see the value in, and that will justify the fact that it has a price tag associated with it, so that they're actually interested in becoming a part of the community. Each one of those things I had reservation around. And so, partnering with you guys where that's kind of your specialty in terms of creating the funnel, building the community, and then helping with how do you talk about this in a way that helps people understand the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it, and also where they can understand that they're supporting you, and they can also understand the value that they're getting out of the community itself.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very true. And so like based on the results so far, where do you see yourself in the next 6 to 12 months? What are the plans there?
I think I'm just going to keep talking about it on the YouTube channel, one out of every 3 videos or so, just kind of keep just casually, constantly, and in different ways, like talking about, hey, this is a thing that we're doing, join us. One cool feature with my community is that because we have these sort of guest experts coming in each month, it allows me to sort of make an announcement, make a slightly different offering without it feeling like you're just beating a dead horse and talking about join. You can kind of say, hey, we have a new book, new author coming in, new expert coming in. And so I'm planning on just as each month unfolds, just sort of talking about what's coming down the pipeline, what people who are in the community are experiencing, what we're all looking forward to, what I like about it personally, et cetera. And just basically like continuing to talk about what is going on within the community, and just expecting to see that steady growth, which right now it's still happening. Right now it's actually been encouraging because it's not just a huge spike on the front end. I've realized that basically every video that you talk about it, you get a little bit of boost in terms of signups. So it seems that I remember what's his name? What's the guy's name? Alex Hormozy talking about that if you say something to your audience in one video, you're probably only talking to like 5% of your audience. And I think that is definitely proving to be true. So it's sort of like my plan is just to kind of keep ringing the bell, telling people this is available, and see in terms of numbers, where does that take things within the next year.
Awesome. All right. Last question here, like before we end it, Brandon, like if someone's kind of on the fence about going ahead and monetizing their audience or working with us, like what would you tell them?
I would say if you are a creator that has an audience and you don't really know how else to add value to them other than just putting out the next piece of content, but you want to connect with them more, you want to be able to offer them something that gives them greater access to the value that they are already finding on your social media, or else why would they be a follower in the first place? But if you want to engage with them in a more intensive and valuable manner, then I think you do need some version of a community, some version of a core group that needs to be created. And then at that point, it's a question of, okay, should I try to DIY and do all of this myself and figure out how to become an expert in a whole other business model? Or should I link arms with a company that basically kind of specializes in helping to connect that audience with a platform where you can connect with them in a more valuable manner? And for me, once I kind of started looking into some of the bells and whistles around building it from scratch, I was like, honestly, I just want to collaborate with somebody who really specializes in this, and then I can focus on what I like to do, which is content creation.
Awesome. All right, then. Before we wrap it up, Brandon, any final thoughts or things you'd like to say?
I don't think so. be careful for Otavio. You know, he can. No, I'm just kidding. I know you can cut that.
Yeah, no worries. All right, that's it then. Cool. Thank you very much, Brandon. And yeah,
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate all that you guys do.